What's up, everybody? Welcome back. It's been some time. It's been so long. We've missed you. Happy birthday, Dan.
Cheers, Adam. For those watching, it is my 40th birthday today.
Oh, my God.
I feel a bit 40, for sure. I mean, in the last month and a half, we decided that our bed was not supporting our backs well enough, and I was waking up in pain every morning. and so we bought like a Tempur-Pedic, like proper adult mattress that cost as much as I thought cars cost when I was growing up. And I have to say, it's like the best money I've ever spent. It's like you wake up every morning and you have a whole new world ahead of you. Complete game changer.
What kind of what kind of mattress? Are you a softie, a firmie?
So I'm more on the firm. Lauren's more on the soft. We went with a medium.
Okay.
And it's a 10-inch or so spring mattress that then has 4 inches of like the Tempur-Pedic topper. So it's like soft-ish and it kind of cradles you. But then when you like really get into it, it's really supportive with the springs. They call it a hybrid.
Is it like the padding, is it like separate technically? Like you see the mattress?
It's
all within the mattress.
It's all part of one thing. And they guarantee the topper where like it won't squish more than 1/8 of an inch in 10 years or something.
Yep. If 3 years it goes more than 1/8 of a centimeter, you let them know.
They do say to rotate the mattress, and I was thinking about this the other day because like I'm heavier than Lauren, and so I'm gonna like wear out the one side more than the other.
Yeah.
And so we should flip it around because she weighs as much as a bird.
Can you flip it or do you rotate it?
You can only rotate.
Yeah, that's what
because it's got it's a directional, so it's got the top. Yeah.
Yeah. See, Libby had that when we first moved in. It was her bed, but it looked separate. It looked like there was a separate top to it, even though it was all connected. And we didn't realize how much. I mean, it was going on almost 15 years, but how much like my side like divoted to the point that like in the middle of the night she was like on top of me because she was like sliding towards me. Yeah. And I was like, oh, we're having some fun. Oh, no, you're just falling on top of me. Never mind.
Get away from me, Adam. No, but yeah, I mean, that's how you know you're old is like we bought that. Like growing up, like the two things that always surprised me, because you take it for granted. You're like, my parents have a car and it has tires on it and we have beds and we have mattresses.
Yeah.
Then you grow up and you're like, okay, things are going to be more expensive. And then you go to like put tires in your car and the guy's like, oh, that'll be $2,500. And I'm like, what? Like tires are $400 a piece, and then it costs another whatever $400 to put them on. Like
balancing and all that, yeah.
Like I was not prepared for that, And then the mattress, the same thing. They're like $5,000. Like holy shit.
Yeah, unless you go with something cheap like a Bobopedic.
Yeah, and then then you got the back that I got. Bobopedic is for the 40 and under crowd.
Yep. Yeah, like that 22 age. Wait a second. You get your tires at the dealership? Where do you get your tires?
Like the tire place. Like there's a Big O's tires down the street. They do a good job.
No. Dude, go to Tire Rack.
Tire Rack. Okay, I've done that before too. Yeah, you buy them and then you can bring them in and have them mounted and bounced.
Yeah, or you know what I've done? Directly ship.
I've done that too.
Yeah, you save some money.
Yeah, the problem is with my car that the selection of tires is very specific. So the mid 2000s BMWs all have those run flats. And so you can get other tires that aren't run flats, but the new run flats, they're on like the 3rd or 4th generation. They're not bad. And I kind of like the idea of like, I get a flat, I can go 50 miles without having to stop. Because there's no spare. There isn't a spot for a spare in my car. So if I disregard the run flats, then I'm effed if I get a flat.
You could put a spare on your car.
Yeah, but like, was it going to sit in my trunk? Like,
no, you put it right to the roof. Right, just get some lug nuts and boop,
burp, burp. I know.
And what's good is that if you flip over, it'll just bounce back because the tire's on top. Going.
Yeah, but I mean, they're good. They're the Conti Contact Pros, so they're still solid tires. They're just run flats. But I feel like run flat hate, and for the viewer who enjoys his WRX, he might hate on the run flats. But I would say I had some run flats early on, like 15, 20 years ago, versus now, totally different tire. They are so much closer to a proper tire these days. They're good tires.
What I like to do with my tires, I mix up a very watery concrete mixture, and I pump it into the tire, and then I run just like a mile. Let it like coat the inside. Unstoppable. My gas mileage is really bad though. I don't know why. I'm kidding. So what else? Okay.
Today's a Thursday. I have taken the day off for
what
my
time
birthday.
Is it by you?
It is almost 1 o'clock.
Almost 1 o'clock. Look at that.
In the
1
afternoon.
o'clock.
So I'm drinking champagne in the afternoon. I start with mimosas. Now I'm drinking just straight champagne. I had some nice breakfast with some eggs and potatoes and some meat. And just enjoying the day.
Awesome, man.
Adam, why are you home at 1 o'clock on a Thursday?
I'm home because I am on paternity leave. Yes, we had the baby. He came, he saw, he conquered. He scared the shit out of us by showing up 3.5 weeks early.
For fuck's sake.
That was a fucking day.
I mean, I have on my list, I wanted to talk about Thanksgiving, but I think you can't talk about Thanksgiving without talking about the day it all happened.
Yeah, that's the day he came. He came Thursday. Her water broke Wednesday, so we had to go to triage. And at 6:27 on Turkey Day, we had a little butterball show up.
Little butterball? Now, I asked you this question a couple weeks ago. Did you look up and find out what you weighed when you were born?
Oh, no, I haven't. The article is downstairs in a box.
I think it's online. We can search it. But for the audience listening, this 3.5 week early baby, who we're pretty sure is not timelined given IVF, was 8 pounds something?
7 pounds, 9 ounces.
7 pounds, 9 ounces. So just for reference, I was 6 pounds, 7 ounces when I was born, and I was full term. So this is a big baby. And I recall you were like 8 or 9 pounds or something, or maybe even freaking 10 pounds. You were a huge baby.
Well, like I said, man, I came out with a mortgage.
The suit and tie and his comb over and paying the mortgage. I'm not smart enough to know whether or not something like that is hereditary, but it's funny to me because, basically I feel like the kid was like, I'm big enough, I'm coming out.
That's what happened.
And you were kind of the same way. I don't know if you were early or not, but you were born in your house because your mom couldn't get to the hospital.
Yeah, I came out in like 15 minutes.
He was like, oh, my water break, 15 minutes later, you were born.
Yep. Yeah, during Bonanza, I think.
What was that?
It was during like Bonanza, I think, or something like that. That's a TV show back in the day.
Back in the day. And then you were delivered by the township police officer.
Yes, Officer Comerford.
For sure.
Yeah, yes. He delivered me. Yeah, I was just like, I came out breech, ass first. I came out mooning the world and was, problem ever since. So yeah, he came early, scared the shit out of us. I had to call my friend Kara, who recently had a baby, recent as in like 2.5, almost 3 years. And I was like, Kara, what do I pack in a go bag? I don't know what to pack. And I was like, sorry, Libby's water just broke. And she was like, okay.
This is a now question.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know. You don't really need much. And I'm like, you're no help. What do you mean? She's like, no, I just like underwear. They kind of give everything to you, so you don't really need much. And I was like, what? And you look online, Instagram, all this fucking social media. First off, people, we need to stop social media. We gotta, okay? Because these people, they're like, oh my God, well, you need your to-go bag. You need like candles and lavender, and you want to set the mood, and fuck you, okay? You don't have time for that, okay, people? I'll tell you straight.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that. You go into labor, maybe have a couple hours, whatever. You're not sitting there chilling, okay? You're not. Libby packed the book. She was like, why did I pack the book? She packed underwear. She lived in the gown the whole, 3 days.
Yeah.
And Kara was right. She's like, you don't need anything for her. For me, gentlemen's totally different. I mean, you're like switching out clothes. You're taking showers because there's well, in our place, there was like showers. It's actually nice.
That's
Food
cool.
was made.
So where did you go? Did you, I didn't even ask that question. Where were you?
Valley.
Basket Valley in Westwood.
No.
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 Westwood is.
Oh, is that Hackensack now?
No, Valley.
So the Pascack Valley Hospital in Westwood, where I was born.
That's not Pascack.
It's not anymore though, but it was. It was the one right by the Waffle House, by the Domino's. You know, past the Domino's. So
Are we food people or what people?
It's like on the you pass the Domino's on your right. Pascack Valley Hospital was to the left, but it's now I think Hackensack. I think it's part of the Hackensack Valley Hackensack system or something like that. But that in Westwood, that's where I was born.
That's where I was born too. Yeah.
Or that's where they took you.
Yeah.
You were born on Beach Street in Washington.
Yeah.
You were on Beach.
Hey, look at that. So no, the Valley Hospital is the Valley Group, which was Ridgewood.
Okay.
But they turned that into an outpatient. They opened a brand new facility in Paramus by the Paramus Park Mall. They have this whole complex, all brand new. They opened up last year, and it's beautiful. Dude, the best thing, they had this couch. Okay, there was a couch. Okay, so imagine a couch. Okay, there's a couch.
I'm imagining a couch.
Okay, so they had a couch.
How many cushions?
Technically, okay, hold on. You can't ask that. Okay, because in the center of the couch, technically 3. In the center of the couch, there's a table, right? But it was flush with where you sit. And what you do is you pull it up, and it turns into a table. Okay, so then on one side you have. Who's that? Is that Lauren?
That's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Wait, hold on. Oh, she's asking if I need another drink.
What a great wife. Anywho, so back to this couch. You bring up this table. Uh-huh. So now you have, in the couch, you have, technically 2 places to sit. One of them's a recliner. But then you put the table down, and you hit this button, and the whole back folds out and down and creates a bed, and the backside's a bed. Can you imagine that?
So you've got nice, comfy couch with table next to you for snacks and drinks and whatnot, but then it can turn into a bed.
Right, but it doesn't pull out to a bed. You hit a button, and where you rest your back, that whole piece pops up and flattens out on top of the table. Oh. And the back side of that is a bed.
Interesting.
And pretty comfortable, too.
Was that in your room?
In the room, yeah.
VIP status.
Dude, I said to the nurse, I'm like, where do I get one of these? I want this for the basement.
Thank you.
Another beer. Oh, I thought it was Lauren.
She is right here. Hold on.
Come on, Lauren. Show your pretty face. Oh, hi, Lauren.
Hi, Adam.
What are you drinking? You typical?
So I was drinking some champagne, and now 805. Yeah. California Blonde Ale. It's a good solid. Samuel Adams Holiday White. Ooh, I like that one.
Drew just came back from Vermont, and he brought me Switchback, which is really good. It's a Vermont-made beer.
Was he snowboarding?
Yes. I'm very jealous.
Yeah. If it makes you feel any better, I live in California 2.5 hours from Tahoe, and I still haven't been in the 4 years I've lived here. So it's closer than Vermont would be to New Jersey.
Really? Just go to any Chevy dealership. You get it?
I did.
Chevy Tahoe. And that's all we have today, folks. Bye.
All right. And this is the podcast.
Gosh, dad jokes coming out now.
I know. Well, now you have an excuse for them. I feel like we've always kind of done them.
Oh, yeah.
But now, as the honorary Uncle Dan, I have to take on that role. I don't know. As uncle, do I still do the dad jokes, or do I?
You do the dirty jokes.
I teach him the bad things, and you have to be the good guy.
Yeah, I have to. Or I just, go along with it and laugh, and then Libby smacks me upside the head, and I go, well, Dan said it. I don't, what?
Well,
it's hilarious.
I can remember growing up with, especially Jeff's parents. We'd hang out with Jeff's dad, and straight edge. Yeah. No. But I can remember growing up, we would hang out in college at, the New Year's Eve party or something. And some of his friends would come over and they'd tell stories. and Jeff's dad was there during this activity, and
Mhm.
you'd look over, and everybody's face was like, "Oh, he was a
Yep.
kid once."
Yeah.
And it was like kind of a funny thing. He would never have told that story, but Don told that story,
Oh yeah.
and it was fucking hilarious.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah.
be Don for you.
You'd be better. Be better.
This kid is gonna have so many goddamn uncles. I mean,
And like all four of you are like together with him. He's not even gonna need me.
spoiled as shit. We're gonna teach him all the bad things, and then at like 12 years old, he's gonna be like, "Daddy, why do I have 4 uncles and all of my friends only have 2?"
Because the rest of your friends are fucking losers. Don't ever ask that question again. Yeah, that's a big thing. Dan turned 40. I had a kid. You want to know something else? I got a call from my HR department, and they dissolved the marketing team.
Oh no, that's your team.
That's my team.
Oh gosh, what's the news?
I don't have a job. Yeah, but it's okay.
So how does that work for you then? I mean, you're on paternity leave.
So I can still collect the paternity leave instead of saying it was a temporary separation because of leave. It's a permanent, and then they're going to look at the paperwork and potentially send it over to like unemployment. I don't know, but it's fine. I'm not worried. Terrible timing. It's fucking hilarious when they called me, but I'm not mad at them.
I'm clearly more worried than you are.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are. I'm not. Okay. I mean, it's, I've been drinking nonstop every day, 9 a.m. I'm just like JD with my cereal, fuck it. And then, kid doesn't get changed for 16 hours, but it's fine. I mean, he's fine. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, everyone. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. Yeah, no,
Well, that sucks. I'm sorry.
It's all right. I think what it is, like, I've talked to the HR, and like when they called me, and I'm not trying to bring I'm not bringing this down at all, really, guys. Like, it's just business, And when they called me, they were like, "Hey, Adam," I was like, "Hey," and they're like, "So we decided to dissolve the marketing team and so on and so forth." And I was just like, "Okay, wait, but I'm on leave. I thought my job is protected." And she's like, "Well, yeah, technically it is, but since we're dissolving the whole department, then this trumps that." And I was like, "Okay, great timing, guys." And they're like, "Yeah, we know." And I was like, "All right." Because I said, last year they did layoffs. And I said to my counterpart, Joe, I said to him, I was like, "Dude, I have a feeling we're next." And he was like, no way. We're the graphics team. We make the catalogs. We do the social media, like they need us. And I was like, "I don't know, man. They could go up to Canada if they really want to." And he's like, "No, Canada's a different market and blah, blah, blah." Well, fast forward to a year later, they got rid of us. And I asked them, "So what are you guys going to do for marketing?" And they're like, "Well, we're going to outsource." And I said, "Okay, so you're going to Canada." And they didn't say anything. And I was like, "Oh, yeah, okay." But I was like, "Look, no hard feelings. I get it.
It's not personal to you, at least.
Yeah, it's not personal."
Yeah. So is there any sort of severance, or like, do you get paid out for a certain period of time?
Yeah. I got a severance. But what's funny is that, so how I did sales for that company. So my old manager for outside sales calls me and apologizes. She's like, "I can't believe this." I'm like, "Nah, it's fine." And she's like, "I'm just surprised that they didn't offer you to come out as a sales rep again." I was like, "Yeah." I asked them, I said, do you think there's any other departments you could use me in? And they said no. She goes, "Well, would you be interested?" I said, "Well, I'm willing to talk. I'm willing to listen." So she talked to HR and talked to her regional. She called me yesterday. She got the green light. So I could go out as a sales rep again.
Okay. So options.
Yeah, there's options. So then HR called me today, which is funny. She's like, "Hey, Adam, how you doing?" She said the same thing, that like they're willing to, hire me back as a sales rep. If I did do that, the severance would stop because they haven't paid me out yet. I told her, I was like, I really appreciate the fact that you guys are even willing to consider that. Is it okay if I take a week to think about it? And she goes, "Yeah, absolutely." And Adam, you were a valued team member. We loved working with you. You were great. And just kind of the situation. I said, "Yeah, no, I get that." I was like, "It's just business." I was like, "Now look, hey, if I was in my 20s right now, who knows? I might have had totally different reaction, but I get it." So I think me being really cool about it, which most people aren't,
Uh-huh.
I think that's also leaving the door open for me.
Yeah.
But the reason why I was late was because I had a phone job interview for another company for marketing manager.
Look at you.
Dan, when you fall off the horse, I shoot the horse, I get a new horse, and I get back on. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Can't keep this motherfucker down.
I don't sit there and wallow. Appendicitis,
I hope one day to be as strong as you.
You are, Dan. You are. And now with that mattress, you will be. Gonna be a new man.
At least I don't wake up in pain every day.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's been going on.
Life gets in the way. We did see each other though.
We did
over Christmas for a brief moment.
I've been in triage, basically just trying to keep my head above water with the baby.
Dealing with the yellow poop, the green poop, the brown poop, the light brown poop, the dark brown poop, the liquid poop, the solid poop.
Yeah.
Actually, there's really not any solid poop in the early couple of months. I
think.
No,
very liquidy.
Yeah. Have you been shot with anything yet?
On my hand. On my hand, yeah. I did one gunfire out of his ass. My fault though, not his. My fault. I jumped the gun in the changing process, and I was in the middle of changing, and I was like, "Wow, holy shit!"
You gotta put your hands down too,
Yeah.
Take cover.
Yeah.
I've heard of, especially with boys, the pee can sometimes be, when you're changing, sometimes they'll pee, and it just goes vertical, like 2 feet. Like right into your face while you're changing.
Oh yeah. Yep. That's the thing. I've caught it. Libby, it almost happened last night. He's caught me twice. Yeah, because I was moving too slow. And then
they're fucking with you,
dude. Seriously. He's like, and then I'm changing. I go to reach over for the Aquaphora for the
Aquifer. Is it Aquifer? Fora.
Which one's the water? Aquaphor?
Yeah, it is. It's like FOUR though. Aquaphor.
Aquaphor is the ointment. Aquaphora is the water.
Oh, you have water too?
No. I'm just confusing it.
Aquaphor. AQUAPHOR. It's like the baby butt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. I actually have that right at the changing table. What are you gonna do? So I reached for the ointment, and as I reached over, Libby was like, "He's peeing!" I grabbed the diaper and just threw it over his dick. And I was like, "No!" And I caught it. It came up, and I caught it, and I came down like super soaker, and I was like, "No!" I was like, "Did it get anywhere?" She's like, "No, you got it." I was like, little bastard. What were you gonna ask?
Oh no, I was gonna say I've only ever read about diapers and how many you go through. We did a diaper raffle at your baby shower.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking you give someone 100 diapers. That's a lot of diapers. I then realized that lasts a week. You're changing 6-7 times a day. Is that reality?
Yes. Yeah. What we do is every time you do a feeding, you do a diaper change. So he's feeding about 7 times a day, so you're doing about 7 diaper changes. Now, is that diaper pretty full with pee? Yes. Could we be doing it more? Probably, but then we would be waking him up in between feedings.
Mm-hmm.
And for the love of God, you need that time. I promise you. He's going through sleep regression right now. It's a 6-week sleep regression. Today on your birthday, he's actually 7 weeks.
Aww.
Yeah. Yeah, he's 7 weeks. But they go through a 6-week sleep regression, which he's totally hitting. So in between feedings, this sweet little man, he's not going down, Dan. He's not sleeping. And I need to get stuff done. And I'm like, I love you, but go to sleep.
Please sleep, child.
Please
sleep, child.
And he's just poof, his eyes are wide open. He's looking around, and I'm like, oh my God, you're totally my son. Just go to sleep. Yeah. But yeah. That's enough baby talk.
Baby talk. No, I mean, this is a big milestone. We announced the pregnancy and that it was a boy on a previous podcast. Now you have a full-on child. And
yeah,
I would imagine once they can talk, that could be an interesting segment. What will Adam?
Yeah.
What will Adam's kids say?
Considering I don't know how to filter myself at all. Yeah.
I'm a firm believer that cursing can be fun, and I think cursing, even as an adult, is all about place and time.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's no sense in not cursing ever. It's just in the appropriate scenario, go ahead and curse because it, motherfucker, you're looking at your eyes too, aren't you? Me too. Right? You have an excuse. Like I don't have any children, and I feel the same way. Like Lauren has this eye cream that she's been getting me to use, and I've been putting it on every morning, and I've noticed it's actually gotten better.
It's reducing the puffiness.
Yeah, they have like some of them that like literally just like flatten you out for like 3 or 4 hours, and that's what you could use like if you're going on the red carpet. As we do.
It works really good. Semen.
I'm sure.
Look it up. Look it up, Dan. Fucking Google it right now. Look at all the benefits that semen has. I'm telling you. Women use it for stretch marks.
There's no way that's real. There's no way that's real.
Someone
just did that to justify something. I won't even look it up. I'm not looking it up. But anyway, there is some stuff that she gave me that like literally just eliminates bags in like 30 seconds. It's magic. But I've been using regular just whatever, and I have a full face lotion now, and then I do an eye lotion, and then at night I do a serum now too. You know what though? I understand your shut the fuck up and don't knock it till you try it. You start to glow a little bit. You feel better about yourself.
Okay.
Things tighten up a little bit. You don't feel fucking 40. You feel like you're 35.
Yeah. Throw a little Taylor Swift on. Get a little bottle. Yeah.
You act like that isn't my normal night.
You guys do each other's nails. I got you, bro. I got you.
Well,
I got you.
Yeah.
Me, I'm like, did I brush my teeth today? That's where I'm at in life. I'm in that stage. I'm sorry, everybody. We just derailed hard.
For those of you watching, can you rewind and remind us what we were doing?
Yeah.
Y'all need Jesus was the only comment on our last video. I have to rewatch that video and figure out exactly. I mean, like, yes, we do need Jesus, but why particularly that? I mean, that was the 5th episode.
Yeah, why that one?
Do we get particularly?
Oh, that was very educational. We were asking about pandas and bears.
I thought that was a pretty straight episode.
Yeah. All right. So, let's just move on. Fuck it.
To readdress or bring back a topic that we talked about in our very first episode, the dishwasher.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about there.
Let's talk about the dishwasher.
My fucking brains out for no reason. I think it's because of the chemicals in the dishwasher. Okay?
No way.
Dan? I mean, I've always been a good goer, okay? But let me tell you something. 4 times a day ain't normal. Okay? I'm like, do I have anything left? Okay? There are chemicals left behind. Secondly, it's ruining the top to my Ninja blender. The rubber pieces are now falling apart from the top. Granted, the thing's 10 years old, but does it make life easier? Yes, it does.
I mean,
I'm using it every night.
If you have to balance saving 15 minutes a day washing dishes, and maybe you got to buy an O-ring for a Ninja, and maybe you go through an extra roll of toilet paper a week, still might be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Although the toilet paper thing, I can't imagine there's any more soap. So soap will give you the runs. I mean, we learned that in college.
Yeah.
If you're not washing your dishes well enough, you're going to get the runs. But I mean, the dishwasher is washing the soap off better than you could if you were just rinsing. Like, unless you're doing like a triple rinse on every fucking plate. What do you mean? Because it does like a triple rinse. Because it does the soap and then it drains and then it like rinses, then it drains, then it like rinses and drains again. It's doing way more than you would ever do. There's no way there's friggin' soap left on it.
Realistically, it's probably because I'm drinking like 10 times more coffee during the day, and that's,
110%. It's
probably that.
Don't try to blame this on your dishwasher.
Hey, it works.
Lock it up.
Using it.
So, long story short, Adam, the man that has never used a dishwasher in his whole freaking life, is using it every freaking day.
Night. Every night. I had 3 dishes in the other day, and I was like, fuck it, you're turning on. Go.
I fucking love this. I love this. Vindication.
But this is why I've been saving it, Dan. I've been saving it for this moment.
And now you're going to use it hardcore.
Yeah, I'm beating the shit out of it. So I'm glad you're happy. Okay.
I am happy. I am happy for you. I'm a firm advocate of, if you're going to have a dishwasher in your house, don't buy like the cheap one. Because cheap dishwashers are worse than having no dishwasher. Go get an expensive one. You do not have a cheap one. You have a Bosch. You have a Bosch, which is like $1,000 dishwasher. If you're going to spend $500 on a dishwasher, don't even get one. Spend $1,000, and you can cram it and not rinse, and just, it fits, just fucking shut it and slam the door shut. It'll get everything perfectly clean. It's amazing.
I'm going to trigger Dan right now. I still pre-rinse.
Of course you do.
I do. I have to. I don't believe it. I don't believe that I can put the cat bowl that has the dried up cat pieces, food in it, and just go, here you go, champ.
So, you know what? Pre-rinse is fine. Like, whatever will come off with a quick rinse, as long as you're not also sponging.
Yeah, I mean, I use soap, and then I put it in. And
No.
I'm kidding.
No, if you want to get off what can come off with a rinse, that's cool. Because you don't want like extra crud in there. You don't want to
right.
You don't want to stress.
And then you got to clean the filter out, which, that's a pain in the ass.
But don't hit it with any abrasive. Whatever comes off with water is all you need to get off.
Water in my hand, I'll get.
Yeah.
All right,
no, that's fine.
So, yes, dishwasher is being used. So, okay. So, because I am now using the dishwasher, and I'm like, okay, Dan, I get it. I get what you're saying. Okay. My sister-in-law now, we were talking about getting this. It's called Baby Breeza. We're sponsored by it.
Wait, is your wife's brother's wife a sister-in-law?
Stepsister-in-law? Yeah, she's...
He's a brother-in-law.
He's a brother-in-law. Wouldn't she be a sister-in-law?
Right? That's like another level extended. He's the brother-in-law.
He's a brother-in-law. His wife? That's just what I say. His wife.
His brother-in-law's wife. Is she a sister-in-law?
Which would be my sister-in-law.
To the Google.
All
right, I'm gonna Google this. What is your brother-in-law's wife to you? Brother-in-law's wife is your sister-in-law. That's because she is married to your brother-in-law, who is your sibling's spouse. Okay, well, not exciting then. That was pretty simple. Well, I'm not as exciting by myself as Adam is. I drink beer, though. 805 California Blonde Ale. Not sponsored yet. One of my favorites. It's a good day drinking beer. It's a good night drinking beer. It goes well with tacos and other things of that nature.
Are you doing a commercial? What are you doing? Are you talking?
I'm trying to get sponsorships here, Adam.
I love it.
You have to have more than like 37 views per video to have sponsors.
That's fine. Did you see episode 5?
Hold on. Pulling it up.
Episode 5, we have 250 views.
No shit.
No shit. That would be hilarious.
You're fucking lying to me. There's like 8 people that even would know.
Description, Raveling in Minds. So episode 5, we have 19.
Okay.
Episode 4, we have 40.
40. Okay.
Right? That would get sponsorship. Episode 2, we have 24.
I don't think 40 will get you as much.
Shut up, Dan.
We need like 10,000 to even be close.
We have 8 subscribers.
We do? No shit.
Yeah, man. Can you keep up with the page?
I'm not keeping up with the page.
You guys over the design. That's right, folks. I made a design. I made a couple designs so we could start doing apparel.
New banner and new main design.
Wow.
So you'll see that in the next few weeks an updated
and hopefully soon I'll edit like some kind of video together, some kind of intro video.
I'm excited.
This is just me and Dan effing around, so it's more about us than you guys. That's really the point. Welcome to the show, but it's more about me and Dan. All right, where are we at? So you were looking up semen? No, you were Googling something.
Here we go. Your brother-in-law's wife is your sister-in-law.
It's my sister-in-law.
So that's a sister-in-law.
That's what I
It
was
does
saying.
seem
Okay.
like, I feel like it's like sister-in-law once removed or something. There's got to be more nuance to that, but
Maybe it keeps it easy, you know, my sister-in-law.
that's what Google says.
Anyway, so she got us this, it's Baby Breeza. It's a bottle washer, dryer, and sanitizer. So it holds up to 4 bottles and pump parts, and it has like a reservoir for the water, and then you drop a tablet in, and it washes it, and it dries it, and you can even sanitize it. So yeah, not only at night am I running a dishwasher, but I'm also running the bottle washer too.
You know what though?
Makes my life so much easier.
I was gonna say, like, you just put this shit in and go play.
Yeah.
And then you take care of your child.
Yeah. So throughout the day, I'll wash like the bottles and stuff. But then at night, if there's a buildup of pump parts and bottles or whatever, then I'll throw it in there. It takes 88 minutes. So at like 10 o'clock, I'll throw it on. And then by the time that 2:30 feeding comes, when I'm awake and I'm going down to do the bottle, all that stuff's dry and ready to go. It's all about, it's all about time management. That's all it is. And crying a lot to yourself.
So this podcast is going to become, how is Adam
Off the
doing?
rails.
And you know, what is it like to be a parent? And
yeah. And the honesty. I'll give you the fucking honesty. Everybody else is like, oh my God.
It's so magical.
No, it's fucking hard, man. It's beautiful, but it's hard. Yes.
So, Thanksgiving, we didn't really talk about, but Thanksgiving was good. We had Lauren's parents come visit us, actually, for Thanksgiving.
Okay.
So they came in on Wednesday night, and they stayed Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They left on Monday. That was actually kind of nice, because usually, Thanksgiving is a weird holiday where we don't travel home for it. And so typically it's just the two of us. And so it was nice. Just the two of us.
We
building
can make
castles
it if
in
we
the
try.
sky. Oh, make it if building castles in the sky. Did I go to the next verse, or do I not know the words?
It's very possible that
yes,
both
is probably the answer. But it was so it was the first time we had someone else to share Thanksgiving with, and then we had been raising a turkey at the barn. So there was 3 turkeys at the barn that we bought in May. One of them got eaten by a coyote, but the other 2 survived, and so we killed them on Sunday before Thanksgiving.
Oh, but the other 2 survived, so we fucking killed them so we could eat. Okay. Hey, that was great.
Circle of life. But so,
did you feel bad at all? You like, I know you went through some trauma, but sorry, bud.
It's not fun. So when we were living in Flemington, we also had a friend who had a farmette, and they would raise turkeys. And every Sunday before Thanksgiving, I would go for the last 4 years we lived there, and we'd kill the turkeys, and But you would pick it like that day and be like, oh yeah, let's take that one. But these you're raising and then killing? No, same thing.
Okay.
Yeah, back when we were in Flemington, our friend Christina had a little farm, and we'd all go in and buy like 20 turkeys as like 1 pound polks in May, and they would grow on the farm. And then the Sunday before, a bunch of us would go to the farm, and one person was doing the killing, and then we had a group of people that were pulling the feathers. Then someone did the butchering, and then you weighed them, and then you took them home. And so it was never frozen. You brined them, until Thursday, and then you cooked your turkey. And it was just, it's the best meat. Never on any hormones or anything. It's just running around this property. You know what it's eating.
It's true, like free range.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it's one of those things where, like, yeah, if you enjoyed killing the turkey, maybe you're a psychopath. It was not fun by any means. But as someone who acknowledges that I'm eating meat, having to kind of do it myself, and as a result, knowing exactly where my meat is coming from, is kind of like, I don't know, it's almost like a rite of passage to some degree. It's like, well, if I want this meat, I'm going to have to maybe do it myself.
And you're using it. It's not like you're doing it for sport and then you toss it in the garbage. Like,
no,
you're
we kill them humanely. You keep them, you keep them sheltered until you kill them, and they die pretty immediately. And I think when you get detached from your food sources, sometimes you can take it for granted a little bit, that you don't know what you're eating. And in this case, I know exactly what I'm eating. I know what it's eaten. And outside of that, I mean, the flavor is just unparalleled. It's so good. You're making a weird face. Are you horrified by me? I'm sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. No.
But anyway.
No, it's a beautiful thing, man. Can I ask you a question? It's going to be hard. Can I ask it? You sure? As of right now, you've lived in California for how many years?
We're coming on 4 in a couple months, yeah.
4, okay, almost 4.5. You lived in Flemington?
3.5.
3.5, okay. Without comparing the two, which one did you like more? I guess ultimately what I'm getting, or which one do you think you enjoyed more? Because so Flemington was Dan and Lauren's first house. And then Dan got transferred. Dan took a job opportunity and then transferred out to California. And they got a house out there. Beautiful house, wine country. Flemington, you guys were at a beautiful house, antique, classic. And you were around like fucking my dream, just antique places. And, you know, and you're out in wine country, beautiful dream country for me too. So I'm just wondering, like, now that you've been there probably longer than where you were in the first place. Which one do you think you enjoy more? Which one do you think you guys are utilizing more? You know, just like that kind of stuff, you know?
You know what? I think they're equal, but
okay,
because they have different pros and cons. I don't miss Flemington. I wouldn't be remiss if I left here. And I think the sense is like out here, one of the big aspects is that you pay kind of the weather tax living out here. You know, the coldest it's ever here is like 35 degrees and only in the middle of the night. And that was, you know, like last night. But today it's 60 degrees during the day. You know, so it's cold now, and it, you know, and the lows are 40 and the highs are 65. And then in the summer, the lows are 65 and the highs are 90. So you still have this kind of circulation of seasons where you're going into shorts and you're going into jeans and sweatshirts, and not like San Diego where it's 80 degrees every day of the year. So I do like the idea of having seasons, but they're not drastic. I haven't shoveled snow in 4 years. Something to be said about that. You know, like I was pretty happy when I sold my snowblower. I haven't had to deal with extreme cold. I mean, you know, our house in Flemington was, you know, it's old 1775 house. It was unbelievable. It had a huge two-sided fireplace that we absolutely loved. I don't think in the winter it was ever warmer than like 64 degrees in the house.
Really?
You could not heat that house up. There was holes everywhere. The wind blowed through. So, you know,
makes you wonder how much was actually leaking outside the house.
Gosh,
how much
everything,
you were wasting.
Everything.
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
is that why you always had the kitchen fireplace going?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And we hung out in the kitchen because you could, you know, that kitchen fireplace was big enough for like a human to get inside. I mean, it was a huge fireplace. You could build like a 5-6 log fire in there. I think the historic nature of that, we had 3 acres there. The view was gorgeous. I do like snow to a degree. So, I mean, we loved it there.
Community. What about the community?
I think it's about the same. I don't know. Yeah. We're not super friendly people. We didn't really know our neighbors in Flemington. We don't really know our neighbors here. I mean, if I'm being honest.
But like, okay, so like you would like you had the farms, you would go with the horses. You would, you know, you had your little feed shops where you would go and you had the butchers and stuff.
We lived
but
in
like
similar...
now, I feel like you have more.
Or there is a little bit more. Out in Livermore, this is definitely horse country, not just farm country. Yeah. It's horse country. So there is a lot of that going on. But I would say Flemington wasn't too bad. I mean, we had farmers markets and little, you know, side of the road, you know, selling tomatoes and things like that. It's not like we were living in northern New Jersey where we grew up, where you're in like, you know, the suburbs of New York City, and then we moved, you know, out to here. No, we were kind of living in the country in New Jersey. And then we're kind of living in the country out here too.
Yeah, it's just like a different kind of country. Just curious. I always wanted to ask you now that it's been a couple of years, you know, you guys are settled and the house is settled.
It's nice.
I always wondered, you know.
It's just different, but a lot of the same. I mean, we have a lot less land here. I mean, shit, you know, we're measuring our acreage here in square footage, you know, 7,000 square foot versus 3 acres. But at the same time, we are within walking distance of a really nice downtown, and we're within 10 minutes of absolute country where there's, you know, 40 wineries and farms and, you know. So
and you're away from fucking literally wine country. I mean, when we went out there, we took the trip out there, we were, half hour, 40 minutes max?
So we're about an hour from like Napa, about 5 minutes from Livermore wine country. There's 40,
right, yeah, which
40
is
wineries in Livermore.
Yeah.
It's a this versus that. I mean, you know what I miss? I miss a good Italian sub.
Damn with the food always.
You know what though? It's crazy out here. You could get like a good sandwich, but it's gonna come on sourdough or this Dutch crunch thing that they have out here. It's not even, I can't even make my own sandwiches. I can't find a good like Italian roll. Something that's like has a softer crust than French bread, or like a baguette, but harder than like your typical store-bought roll. And then that interior that is like chewy but still soft. They don't sell it here. And so I can't, like, I have a list of places when I go back to New Jersey that I want to go to just to like get Italian subs.
What's good too is where you guys are. You are far enough out away from the fires.
That is true.
Yeah, I mean,
we are not in a fire
anything from those
risk
fires?
area.
Yeah, getting anything.
No,
smoke, nothing.
No, good. and even in, so I mean, the fires that are going on right now in LA, a big part of that is the Santa Ana winds that come off the coast help fuel fires down in the LA area, which we don't have up here. But then typically, and this is what happened this year, the rainy season starts here in about September, October. And so we started getting rain and it wets things down. LA still has not had a rain. So, our whole summer is dry, but then we got rain in September, October, November, and it started to kind of bring us out of the chance of fires. LA still hasn't had any rain. So they're just, everything is just a tinderbox.
I sent it to Libby. I could send it to you so you can see it. So Joe Rogan, right? His podcast. The whole I saw it. So Joe Rogan.
I made a look for those that are just listening. I made a look.
But he in July of 2024 was on his podcast talking. He was talking to an LA firefighter randomly, and they were talking about fires, and he said, and we're going to try to get this correctly, he said that the firefighter said, we are one wind direction out of losing control of these fires. Something like that. That if the wind ever changes direction, that we will lose LA. We do not have the resources, and we do not have the water supply in order to stop any of these fires. And that was back in July of 2024. And I was like, holy shit, that's crazy that he was like just saying that. And it's literally like because of how backed up everything is to each other in LA. Yeah. Like, that's crazy. If you see the map of the spread, the map of how it started, what was it, January like 5th or something like that, and then it spread and it started going up the mountains, and how like the winds just took it, and it was like January 7th or 8th, it just like the acreage was insane.
Yeah. So one of my coworkers, one of the guys I work with, he lives in the Topanga Canyon Hills, and he got evacuated, and he went down to like his cousin's house, and then he got evacuated again, actually, as the fire started to spread. And basically, it's not uncommon for the fires to start in the hills in and around where he is, but they've become, and this is credit to the, I know people have been giving shit to the LA, fire department, but in the credit to the LA Fire Department, they have been very good when it comes to airdrops and things like that, where these fires start, they get,
Isn't that more National Guard?
Only if only if they can't control it. I mean, so the LA County Fire Department has like, I don't know, 20 planes or something that does the drops. And it's only in situations like this where it gets out of control that they need extra help. Speaking of which, I mean, people were saying like, oh, like the LA Fire Department, their budget was cut $17 million this year, and that's why blah, blah, blah. Their budget is $1 billion a year. So the $17 million cut was 2% of their budget. So it let's be real here. That 2% is not the reason this fire was not kept under control.
Yeah,
like 2% is a rounding error in most budgets. So like that is not something that contributed to this fire. Anyway, so these planes and things like that, they typically, he'll see a fire coming over the hill, and then there's 2 or 3 planes, and they squash it out, and they usually do a wonderful job. And it's amazing, and they kind of keep things under control. But what happened in this case was the fire started, and then for about 36 hours, there was like 90-mile-an-hour winds, like
Mm-hmm.
hurricane-force winds. And so the winds were high enough that the airdrops, the planes can't fly in that type of wind. And so they were unable to slow it down with airdrops.
Right.
And that is one of the main reasons it got wildly out of control. It was
And
moving
even if
fast.
a plane was able to get in, they was blowing so hard that it would just disperse everything.
Yeah.
Where it was ineffective. Yeah.
And so basically you had the wind that was making it worse than anything they'd ever seen before. And then also the wind was keeping them from stopping it. And so by the time they had a chance to do anything about it, it was just like, we're fucked. And you could have had 1,000 engines or 10,000 engines and it wouldn't have made a difference. This was just happening, you know? And also the winds, I mean, like in the Palisades where they lost like, 1,000 structures or something. It wasn't that like the fire was moving through in a wall and you can try to stop that wall. The 90-mile-an-hour winds were throwing embers into the neighborhood and they were just starting fires all over the place. And so it was like 27 houses lit on fire at the same time. And so you're a firefighter, you come in, even if I got 10 engines, I'm like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this?
Yeah.
You know, so it was just a perfect storm. I don't think anybody was necessarily ill prepared. I think we've never seen anything like this before. And it fucking sucks. And, you know, we'll probably learn from it, but I don't think people are blaming people for this shit. And it's like, I don't think you can blame anybody for this. It's just, it is what it is. And we'll learn from it. But this is like a once in a lifetime type thing that hopefully doesn't happen again, but we'll see.
Have you seen the conspiracy theorists? Have you, Dan? Have you seen that this was all planned so that LA can do a smart city?
Gosh, yes, I've read that.
They're planning for a smart city, and they did this. Or how coincidental that a lot of the people on Diddy's list, you know, a lot of Diddy diddlers, their houses were there, and how convenient it just burned all the evidence.
You're out your damn mind. You're out your damn mind.
Have you seen all those, Dan?
I haven't. I choose to ignore them.
Yeah, they're hilarious. You got to watch them. They're hilarious.
No, I've seen them. I've seen them. Bullshit, but I've seen them.
Hey, look, I always say this. You can't blame the conspiracy theorists because when they put dots together, there's times where you go, oh, man, I can see that being possible. It's not, but I can believe that. If I didn't take my medication today, I got it. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You got to keep your eyes open. I agree with that. You have to consider all options and not be closed-minded. But I can listen to that conspiracy theorist, assess it under my own free will, hopefully not intoxicated, and go, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
And then you move on.
That's why I send you some stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, Dan, interesting.
I think
it's bullshit because...
I think I wrote back on the last one you sent me, and I was like, that would be funny, except he's incorrect on every point he's making.
Yeah. Sorry. So a little bit of a tangent there, but
the only thing I have left, and I had a conversation about this the other day because I saw a post about it, is do you remember the game?
I remember a lot of games. I mean, what do we talk about? Do we talk about ouch, ouch, on my hair, or just a tip, or what do we...
Didn't we play that? I remember playing. So no.
I don't know. Wait. Okay, so it was a game that we played that you didn't want to remember that you played the game, but you played the game. If you said that you played the game, you don't want to remember what?
So clearly this wasn't with you then. No, so there's a game called The Game that we grew up with where the whole point of the game was to forget you're playing the game.
Uh-huh.
And if someone remembered that they were playing the game, then you've lost the game. But you don't go down without swinging. And so the whole point was if you remembered that you were playing the game, you then reminded others about the game to ruin their days. And so they remembered they were playing the game, and then they've also lost. And I've gone like 10, 15 years stretches without remembering I'm playing the game, and then somebody mentions it on some social media, and then I lose. You never played this?
What are you talking? What are you talking about? No, what are you...
No?
What, like, were we kids?
This was like from elementary school.
Elementary school?
All the way, I mean, through sure. Yeah.
And there's no rules to the game. Hey, we're playing a game now. Remember that. And then 10 years ago, I'd be like, hey, how's that game going? And you're like, holy shit, I remember. Boom, you lost.
And then now you lost. So, the game. I'm going to put a question out to our viewer.
We have 8. How dare you?
8.
All 8 of you, but one of you that we love very much. Thank you.
How do I search this on Google? The game.
Yeah, type in the game, Dan. Let me see what comes up.
So the game is a rapper. So that came up. The game.
Type in the game that's not a game, but it's a game that you're playing that you don't know you're playing. I remember the circle game with your hand. If you looked at it, you would get punched. I remember.
There was 100% that.
Football games. I remember soccer games. I remember even the pirate game that Jeff was very obsessed with all the little boats and things.
So there's a Wikipedia page on this.
Shut up.
The game is a mind game in which the objective is to avoid thinking about the game itself. Thinking about the game constitutes a loss, which must be announced each time it occurs. It is impossible to win most versions of the game. Depending on the variation, it is held that the whole world, or all those who are aware of the game, are playing it at all times. Tactics have been developed to increase the number of people who are aware of the game and thereby increase the number of losses. So there's no way to win the game, you can only lose.
Dan, it sounds like something out of the Matrix.
I can't believe you didn't play the game growing up.
You know what? I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure somebody tried to play with me and I was like, go fuck yourself. And I walked away. Or I was just like, okay.
Right. To our viewers, as we now have 8, did you play the game?
The game, if you did, you're on. You lost.
Please comment and comment in your being pissed off that I just ruined your streak because now you've thought about the game.
The game. Also, do me a quick favor. If you're listening, just look at the screen real quick. If you've never played the game, there's this game. You just lost. Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah.
All right, well then I lose it. So I saw a thing online about the game, and I started laughing, and I was pissed off because I was like, "Fuck, I lost the game," and I had like a 10-year streak going.
You remember playing the game?
Oh yeah,
in college. So 10 years ago,
no,
in
like
college.
I mean, it's since elementary school.
Well, that's like 40 years ago, Dan. Just to remind you. That was like 30 years ago.
35 years ago. So Lauren had said that she had never heard of the game. And I was like, shit, I remember playing it growing up.
Thank you, Lauren.
And apparently you don't remember it either. And so I thought I was a crazy person until I realized there's a Wikipedia article. And so I'm not a crazy person.
No, you're not. I don't. It kind of rings a bell, but I don't. You know me. I don't. High school, stupid, like stuff like that. I would just be like, okay, I'm gonna go find this girl and hook up with her. You know what I mean? Just kidding. I try to sound like a baller, guys. I don't.
Never.
It's more like I'm gonna jump on my skateboard.
I was a skater boy. You were a skater boy. That was quite the skater boy. Although back in our day, skater boy was Jenko jeans.
Which are coming back.
I saw that. It's kind of crazy.
Excited.
I saw the new styles. People are wearing big ass baggy jeans again. It's like it's 1999 all over again.
Yeah. I saw a conspiracy theory that the reason why we are so obsessed with the 1990s, because you can't deny it.
Because it was the best?
Or there was what's the best word? Demolition? The world ended, essentially. We're just saying that the world ended at some point in the early 2000s. That's why we're so obsessed with the 90s, is because that's the last known actual memory that we all have.
I mean, isn't that just the plot of The Matrix?
You don't believe you're in The Matrix, then?
I mean, I might be. But with that said, that is the plot of The Matrix, is that, when they said like, oh, the peak of humanity was 1999, and then that's what the robots based The Matrix off of, was our world in 1999, which was pretty awesome. I mean, 1999 was not a bad time.
It was a good time.
So, yeah, I can kind of believe that. It was a cool time.
It was. Hey, the 90s were a great time. They also say, which I totally agree with, that we are the last generation to know what it's like to not know technology and also know technology.
That's true.
Which I totally agree. So we know what it's like to stay out until the street lights go on, and then we had to get home for dinner. And then we also know what it's like to connect with these friends for the first time and play an online game.
Yeah. I mean, if you come think about it, like we got cell phones at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like when you got cars, you got a cell phone because like to stay a little bit more connected.
And did you get like an actual cell phone or pay by plan? Because that's what I got.
I mean, I think I had a thing where I had like 200 minutes and like 200 texts or something.
Yep. Yeah. The 200. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you had to do really quick short text so you don't run out.
Well, and then if you used up your 200, it was like 10 cents a text.
Yeah.
Like you'd be like, oh, insane. Like a quick like back and forth that we would do today would be like $1.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. Or you had to wait till like after 9 p.m. and then things were free or something like that. But no, yeah, I mean, outside of that, the technology we had computers. I remember I first got internet in my house when we were, I want to say like 6th or 7th grade. We finally got internet in our house. And then it was dial-up. So it was the 56K modem dial-up. You know, and so you were not downloading anything. You were going to a page and reading some words, and that was about it. There was no streaming. There was no nothing.
What?
So, yeah, I mean, that was
download porn?
You could not. No.
Yeah, you could.
It was maybe a picture.
One picture, yeah. It would take
one
10
picture,
minutes.
And it would take you like 15 minutes.
Yeah. You go to the kitchen. You're like, oh, hey, everybody. I was just going to grab some ice cream. Yeah, I'm doing some work. And you walk back in and like you see a half a boob. You're like, oh, my God. You're like, it's fucking go time.
It's loading from the top. And you see like the top of the areola.
Yeah.
But you don't see the nipple yet. And you're like, yes, I know there's a nipple there.
The anticipation, man. You know? So much anticipation.
Kids these days, man, they don't know the struggle.
You couldn't get the Jergens out too early because then it didn't make sense.
We're going to cut that. That's for the vault.
You're my Pamela Anderson for the next 35 seconds. Oh, yeah. Barbed wire.
Oh, gosh, that was such a classic poster. The Pamela Anderson barbed wire poster.
You know what? Subscriber 1 is right. We do need Jesus. 100%.
I'm going to have to go back and figure out what exactly is a Jesus needing moment. I feel like we've been...
I think by episode 5, he realized, he's like, yeah, they need Jesus.
We've been off the rails since episode 1. It's just a matter of the fact that maybe we've continually been off the rails, so it's not a one-time thing. And so maybe
escalation. Well, you're on the ride now, so enjoy it, motherfucker.
Bring it. You and your turbo.
Don't be jealous. Don't.
Actually, I'm not jealous. I very much like the Subaru turbo 4 cylinders and the spin up, and I think they spin up pretty quickly at a fairly low RPM, so they're fun. I will say I have the straight 6 without a turbo that has no lag, and that the power band is continuous, and it is a lot of fun. And there is a difference, you know.
Do we need to fly out one car, either out to Jersey or California, and do a little 1-to-1?
Hey, if subscriber 1 is ever in California, I have a manual transmission as well, so he'd enjoy that.
Yep.
I will 100% give him my car and say, go have fun. And
yeah, we're going to California, baby. Let's do it.
And tell me if you know, go like. I think it's it's also a 4-wheel drive, so that's a little bit slower, which his might be as well. But
yes, he's all-wheel.
But once I get going, like that 20 to like 80 is a fun run because you're just shifting out of first at like 20, 25 miles an hour, and then second you fly up to like 50 or 60, and then you hit third, and it takes you off again, and there's no lag in the entire range. That's the thing that I love about my car. Turbo would make it more powerful, but there's no lag, nothing like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, neither of you have driven the Dodge Dart GT, so let me tell you, front wheel drive. Oh, fucking man, put some hair on your balls.
Hey, I've driven as a passenger in that car though, and when it's being driven by Adam Panacidi, your butt clenches.
Yeah, it does. I bet it handles.
It does. That's
It's
a
probably
great
not
car,
supposed
actually.
to handle the way it does, but it does.
I was quite impressed by that car. That's actually, I wouldn't have thought it was as good as it is until I drove with you, and it's a pretty solid car.
It's a good car, man. Marketing for them, they screwed up hard. They marketed it as like this kid going to college car. You're kind of like daily driver for older people.
Honestly, they should have marketed it more like a GTI.
Yep.
If I'm being honest. The GTI is also a front wheel drive car, and it's super modifiable if you wanted to mess with it.
Yeah.
And it's still offered in manual, which is not a commonplace these days.
Yeah, they fucked up, man. The car lasted like maybe 6 years, maybe 7. So that's where we're at. Okay, you hear that? Subscriber number 1. You got yourself a challenge. Looks like we're going out to fucking California, baby.
Well, I got a spare bedroom behind me, and I have an office with a futon, and
I got a kid that's gonna stay home with my wife. Yeah, okay.
He's more than welcome to come.
Can he? Well, when can you fly with a kid? When is reasonable? Not like I'm gonna cry the whole time because my ears are popping. I don't know what's going on. Like
you
when
can get
reasonable.
headphones for them though too.
Whiskey, yeah.
I don't know. Like I think like a few months. Like you probably 3-4 months or something like that is like the earliest.
Too long. You gonna have dinner? What are you doing for dinner, real quick?
You know what? I don't know. I don't know what we're doing for dinner.
You're
we
not
have a
gonna
bunch
kill
of
another
plans.
fucking bird?
No, they're not killing any birds. So I have off today and tomorrow. And it's just Thursday and Friday, and then we have the weekend. And so we have kind of a 4-day weekend going on. I think we're gonna maybe go see a movie one day. There's a beer wall that we're gonna go to, which is you can kind of fill as much as you want from taps of beer on a wall, and you pay for what you drink. And they got some snacks.
That's awesome.
It is, and it's within walking distance of our house, so you can just kind of walk there, and you don't have to worry about driving home. I bought a hanger steak, which is my favorite kind of steak, so I'm gonna have that one day for dinner.
Okay, nice.
I mean, low key. I'm not doing anything crazy.
Chill, man. It's amazing, right? It's amazing how different the 20s are the 40s.
I know. You know what? Like we thought about like doing something major or big and whatever, and it was kind of like just having a little bit of time off to relax seemed like it was the most appropriate thing to do. It's
crazy, man. How like when we were younger, we would hear stuff like that, and we're like, "What are you crazy? What? It's your birthday. You got to go out. You got to go to the bar." Blah, blah, blah. It's so true, man. Like you just to take a minute, enjoy something you really, really like, whatever that is. So for you, Dan's a foodie. So like for him, it's food. You know, like I want to enjoy the food. Give me a good, glass of wine. Chill with my woman. Some people are like, no, let me take a chill trip. Let me take a nice, relaxing trip. It's crazy. It's crazy how like even me. Like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I don't know. I mean, have some people over and chill. Like, I'm good with barbecuing. Like, really. It's crazy. It's crazy how getting older, And Dan used to be off the rails, people. You don't even know. He's fucking heroin. He was like, fucking tap it, man. No, I'm kidding. He wasn't. I'm kidding. If his boss ever sees this, I'm joking. I'm kidding.
Niche.
No.
But yeah, so it'll be fun. I'm glad we got a chance to talk. I know how hard it is with your newborn.
It's okay.
And I appreciate Libby for letting you do this.
You hear that, honey? No, yeah. And we'll do another one. We'll try to schedule one out not so long. I hope you have a good birthday, though. Enjoy it. Enjoy the weekend. Take the time. Just fucking chill.
Will do.
All
right. Sounds good.
I love you, brother.
Peace.
Love you.
How do I stop this?
I don't know. We always forget how to do this. Hang up. All right, I'm hanging up.
Just leave. Just leave. End session for all. End.
Bye-bye.